I divorced back then, choosing to leave everything behind for the custody of my daughter. I worked my ass off to give her the best life possible. But I never expected that, for the sake of a scumbag, she would turn her back on me. Even worse, she joined forces with the scumbag to paralyze me and transferred all my assets. Now, in this second chance at life, I've decided to give her the freedom she wanted. You weren't happy, so you have to destroy my happiness too. I opened my eyes and saw my daughter, Lisa, throw my purple clay teapot violently to the floor, her red eyes glaring at me. Her hateful gaze made it feel like I was her enemy. The shards of the teapot flew, cutting my calf, leaving a bloody mark. I stared at the wound in a daze. What was happening? Just a moment ago, I was in the rehabilitation hospital where my daughter, this love-struck child, had pulled out my oxygen tube and killed me. How did I end up back at my own home? Lisa, seeing that I didn't speak, became even angrier and cursed at me viciously. You deserve it, Dad. You deserve to be alone. You deserve to be unloved. She picked up a cup from the coffee table and smashed it on the floor again. Her voice was as clear as ever. I thought, maybe I've been reborn. Was heaven angry that I died so helplessly last time? That's why it gave me another chance. This time, I won't make the same mistakes again. I looked up at Lisa, my daughter, the one I carried for 10 months and raised with all my love. Back when her father cheated, I gave up everything, including all my property, just to fight for her custody. And this was how she repaid me. She and an outsider teamed up to harm me and, in the end, pushed me to death. Thinking about it made my heart ache. The time was right, the moment I locked her in the house to stop her from moving in with Ben. This is when she blew up. In my past life, I couldn't bear to let her go. When she took the opportunity to strike me with a chair and knocked me unconscious, she escaped. If it hadn't been for a neighbor, I would have died then and there. This time, I've decided to give her the freedom she wanted. I pinched the bridge of my nose and coldly said, "Shut up, Lisa. I'll ask you again, are you really determined to be with Ben? Even if I tell you he's a worthless scammer, a jerk who has been using you, trying to steal from you, you'll still go ahead?" She screamed, "He's not like that. You're the one who's dark-hearted, always seeing people as bad. I'm going to be with him, and if you try to stop me, I'll kill myself." In my past life, I was truly scared and begged her, trying to make her understand my good intentions. But she never appreciated it. "Fine, Lisa. This is the last time I'll ask you. If you want to be with him, then you're willing to sever all ties with me, right?" A flash of excitement appeared in her eyes. "Yes, I don't want a crazy, controlling mother like you. Let me go. From now on, whether I live or die, it has nothing to do with you." Maybe my heart had already died in the previous life, but hearing these words again this time, I felt nothing. "Okay, then, as you wish, Lisa, go ahead. From today, you are no longer my daughter. The severance of mother-daughter relationship agreement is ready, right? Bring it to me. I'll sign it now." In my previous life, after I was sent to the hospital by the neighbors, I came back 2 days later. On the floor where I had fallen unconscious, there was a blood-stained severance agreement, and Lisa had already signed it. Lisa immediately took out the agreement from her bag and threw it at me impatiently. "Sign it quickly." It was in 2 copies, and I signed it without hesitation. "Go, Lisa, pursue your love, just like you want. From now on, you won't have a mother anymore." "Who needs one? I have my dad." After letting her go, I sat on the couch for a long time, slowly accepting the fact that I was starting over. Over the next few days, I put the house up for sale. The location was great, and my asking price was reasonable, so it sold quickly. I moved to a house closer to my company. This was originally meant to be a gift for Lisa when she graduated from college, along with a part of the company's shares. Now, with just 6 months left before her graduation, she no longer deserved any of it. 3 months later, an old security guard called me. He said Lisa had caused a scene at our old home, claiming it was still her house and asking me to explain. I told the guard I had no daughter. A video of Lisa making a scene was uploaded online. I saw that she had lost some weight and cut her hair short. At that moment, she reminded me of my past life. It was at this time that she came running back, wearing the same clothes and the same hairstyle, crying on the sofa, saying that Ben had treated her badly. "He won't work. He sold my bags and clothes. He even hit me and wouldn't let me call you." I ran away secretly. "Mom, I was wrong. I'll listen to you from now on." I was heartbroken and hugged her, crying with her. After we cried, I transferred $1 million to her for shopping. To my surprise, she disappeared with the money the very same day. I thought something had happened to her, and I searched everywhere, calling her, but she never picked up. I almost called the police, until a colleague called me and said they saw Lisa at a bar. I drove through the rain to find her, and there, in the private room, she was kissing Ben on the sofa. I slapped Ben in anger, grabbed Lisa, and warned Ben to stay away from her. To my surprise, Lisa scratched my face, leaving 3 long bloody marks, then pushed my hand away and jumped into Ben's arms, stroking his face with eyes full of affection. "Sweetheart, are you okay? It's all my fault. She's crazy. Don't mind her." At that moment, my heart turned cold. I searched for her tirelessly, and what did I get? She scratched my face for a scumbag and called me a lunatic? Ben gave me a perverted grin, and I could see the greed in his eyes without any disguise. I used to feel so much for this daughter of mine, I almost begged her, "Shanshan, come back with me. I won't hurt you. This person is not right for you." But Lisa, as if cursed, clung to Ben's neck and yelled at me. "Are you annoying? Can you go away? Are you jealous that I'm happy?" My mind was spinning. I staggered back a few steps, almost losing my balance. Ben held Lisa close and smiled slyly. "Auntie Lisa and I are truly in love. Please support us." I couldn't separate them, so I hoped Ben would treat her well. For their future, I arranged a job for Ben. He only had a junior high school education, and I gave him a salary of $10,000 per month, hoping he would learn more and help Lisa manage the company in the future. In the end, I misjudged his character. The video showed Lisa banging on the door crying, "Mom, open the door. It's Lisa. How could you change the lock? You don't want me as your daughter anymore?" A neighbor reminded her, "Lisa, your mom has sold the house. Didn't you know?" Lisa screamed, "No, that's impossible. This is my house. How dare she sell it?" I sneered. "Your house? This house was bought by me through hard work, drinking until I bled from my stomach and fainted in the office countless times. What does it have to do with you? It's my house, and I'll sell it if I want it." Since she refused to leave, the new owner had to call the police, and only then did she leave in embarrassment. I hired a private investigator to follow her and found out that she went straight to Ben after leaving. The investigator sent me a video and casually said, "Luna, you raised a wolf in sheep's clothing." That's exactly what she was, a wolf. If she had even a little conscience, she wouldn't be conspiring with her boyfriend to steal from me. Lisa arrived at Ben's rented apartment, a messy room with only a 1.5-meter bed and a badly worn table, littered with takeout boxes and empty beer bottles. Lisa kicked Ben, who was lying on the bed watching his phone, and muttered, "That old woman sold the house, and I can't get through to her. Looks like your trick won't work." Ben's eyes flashed with impatience, quickly replaced by greed. "Your mom's so heartless. No mother would do this to her daughter. That house is so big. She must have sold it for a lot of money." Lisa lazily threw herself on the bed, resting her head on Ben's shoulder, nonchalantly saying, "Of course. It's in the city center, in a school district. You can't get it for less than 20 million. The greed in Ben's eyes grew clearer, and he held Lisa tightly, softly coaxing, "You're such a fool. Your mom's money is yours. She sold the house without asking you. She doesn't even treat you like a daughter. Maybe she's seeing someone else and even has another son now. Lisa, I'm the only one who's thinking of you. You can't be so foolish. That stuff belongs to you. You have to take it back. She's just a menopausal old woman. No man would like her. My dad couldn't stand her and divorced her. How could anyone put up with her? And everything she has is mine. When she dies, the company, the house, and the car all mine." Ben licked his lips and casually said, "Your mom's only in her 40s, right? By the time she dies, you'll be an old lady." Impossible. She hurt her body giving birth to me, then worked in the company and drank too much. Her health is already ruined. She won't live long. When she dies, her company, house, and car all ours." As she spoke, it was as if she saw a bright future ahead and sighed contentedly. I really hope that day comes soon. I shuddered at the coldness in her words. So, in her heart, she had always wanted me to die? Truly, what a good daughter I have. What she said wasn't wrong. When I was about to give birth, her father cheated on me with my best friend. I caught them in bed together, and in the struggle, he pushed me down, causing me to bleed heavily and almost die. Although I gave birth to her safely, I was left weakened. I worked myself to the bone, risking my life, so that my daughter could grow up like a little princess, to give her a better life, only to have her wish for me to die sooner. Lisa, I really underestimated you. I had still held on to a sliver of hope, thinking she was just brainwashed by Ben, but it turns out she's just as vicious at heart. In the video, they started planning to block me at the company. Their goal was money. They wanted to buy a house. The next morning, the front desk informed me that Lisa was downstairs causing a scene. I had already told the company staff Lisa is no longer my daughter, so no one was allowed to let her up. I had my assistant deal with it. If she made too much noise, I told them to call security and throw her out. I then signed off on a scholarship agreement. Not long after, my assistant rushed back upstairs, saying that Lisa had taken out a knife and slashed a security guard's arm. She asked how I wanted to handle it. Why don't you just call the police? Do I need to teach you how to handle this? The assistant was stunned and immediately contacted the police. When Lisa was taken away by the police, she screamed like a lunatic. I'm Luna's daughter. This company is mine. The security guard is my employee. I can do whatever I want with him. Who dares to arrest me? Fool. Because she had caused too much of a scene, I had no choice but to go downstairs. As soon as she saw me, she tried to jump on me, but the police held her back. Mom, help me. They want to arrest me. I looked at her like a stranger, my gaze sweeping over the fruit knife in the evidence bag, remembering her and Ben's conversation. I'll bring a knife tomorrow. If she doesn't give me the money, I'll threaten her with it. Ben had said, "You're such a little genius." Mom, why are you standing there? Tell them to let me go. I gave a guilty smile to the police and said, sorry to waste your time. Please handle it as you see fit. She's already severed ties with me, so she's no longer my daughter. Even if she was still my daughter, she shouldn't be so lawless. Upon hearing this, Lisa panicked. When she was in a hurry, her words became just as reckless as her father's. Luna, you old woman, you just can't stand seeing me happy. You just want to force me back, don't you? Well, I'll never acknowledge you as my mom. And even if you die, I won't come to see you. Such curses no longer moved me. Don't worry, you won't have a mother anymore. After she was taken away, the private investigator sent me a photo of Ben hiding in the shadows, filming a video. I sneered. Was I really going to compromise again like I did in the past life, just because of some petty trick? In my previous life, there was no video, just a post Lisa put online, along with a few photos, accusing me of controlling her. She said she had been under my control since childhood. What she ate, wore, and did had to be approved by me. She claimed she was about to graduate from college, yet she wasn't even allowed the freedom to date. When she had a boyfriend, I went crazy, beat her, locked her up at home, refused to give her food, and forced her to break up with him. She called me a lunatic, a freak, a woman who didn't deserve to be a mother. She said the person she hated most was me. If it weren't for me, she could live with her dad, and she'd be happy. She attached a few pictures of herself injured, blaming it all on me. I don't even remember how vicious the online backlash was, but I know that when I saw the things she posted, my heart ached so badly that I could hardly breathe. I thought that my daughter must have been controlled by Ben to post such things. So, I called her, asking if she was in trouble. As soon as she picked up the phone, Ben snatched it from her. He told me that, if I wanted my daughter to be okay, I'd have to transfer him 10 million. I didn't hesitate. If it meant he would let my daughter go, I would pay whatever it took. He threatened me not to call the police, or he would kill my daughter. I was so scared she'd get hurt that I transferred money to him again and again. Every time I heard her crying, begging me to save her, my heart shattered. Eventually, Ben demanded that I change the company's ownership to his name, and then he would release my daughter. I thought, as long as my daughter and I were safe, I could start over again. I gathered all the documents and met with Ben. Just as I was about to sign, I saw Lisa standing off to the side. In my panic, I didn't notice anything was wrong. I rushed over, crying, and hugged her. Lisa, you're fine now. Mom's here to save you. She pushed me away immediately, disgusted. You stink? Stay away from me. Hurry up and sign. We're in a hurry. I froze. What? Ben stopped pretending and said with a grin, "Auntie, aren't you the one who loves Lisa the most? You want her to have a good life, don't you? Hurry up and sign. She and I are going to get our marriage license. By the way, she's pregnant. If I don't marry her, she won't be able to get married." I looked at Lisa in disbelief. She was rubbing her stomach with one hand, impatiently saying, "Hurry up and sign. It's all mine anyway, whether I get it now or later, what's the difference?" I didn't sign. I left with the documents in a daze, the sound of Lisa's sharp voice still ringing in my ears. My own daughter was cursing and blaming me. How ridiculous. The next day, just like in my past life, the same post reappeared along with edited videos. There was a picture of me, coldly telling the police to handle things according to the law. Later, Lisa posted more photos of her injuries, claiming I was the one who had beaten her. But I had never laid a hand on her. For Ben's sake, she had even attacked me a few times. The private investigator sent me another video. To make it more convincing, it turned out that Ben had been the one to injure Lisa. She, spoiled and pampered, was willing to hurt herself just to frame me. I even started to question if I had picked up the wrong child in the hospital. I couldn't imagine that my daughter could be so malicious. The situation spread like wildfire, just like in my past life. And with me adding fuel to the fire within 3 days, it had become a trending topic on all the major media outlets. Lisa and Ben even gave interviews, playing the role of a couple tormented by a vicious mother. They cried on camera, pleading for me to give them their freedom. I've had enough of that life. She never saw me as a person. All I want is to escape her control and be with my lover. That same day, countless calls flooded into my company. The staff, well, trained, explained politely yet firmly, "Please trust Luna. We will provide a full explanation this afternoon." Before the explanation, I met with Lisa and Ben. I had intentionally taken her number off the blacklist, waiting for this invitation. It was the same cafe I had visited in my past life, and I booked a table in the corner. When Lisa and Ben arrived, they ordered a whole bunch of things, practically everything on the menu. Lisa didn't even call me Mom anymore. She directly addressed me by my name. "Luna, did you see the news?" I replied coldly, "Yes, I saw it." "What are you trying to do with all this?" She said directly. "This will affect your company a lot, right? If you want the heat to die down, you'll do as I say." "All right, what do you want?" "First, transfer 100 million to me, then give me your company. As for the house, you can keep a small one, but everything else should be transferred to my name." Her demands were even greater than last time. I raised my eyes and saw my reflection in the glass window. My gaze was cold. "And what else?" "Lisa, what else do you want?" She turned to discuss with Ben, who looked at me and whispered, "The car. Take all the cars. Also, your car, all of them, ... Ben reminded her, "We agreed to split everything. The cars go to you, but the house and the company go to me." I couldn't help but sneer inwardly. Lisa hesitated a moment, but Ben immediately soothed her. "We're getting married anyway, so everything I have is yours. Hurry up and get it all. We need to sign the papers." Lisa continued, "And the cars, you can't keep any. You won't be able to afford them anymore. Just give them all to me. Luna, I'm giving you 1 day to prepare everything. Tomorrow I'll come to sign. If anything's missing, don't blame me for being rude." "Oh, what are you going to do to me, Lisa?" "Don't forget, you're the one who wanted to sever our mother-daughter relationship. You're the one who forced me to sign the agreement. Your household registration has already been transferred, and legally, you're no longer my daughter." She waved her hand dismissively. "I don't want to be your daughter. I only want these things." I looked at her and said, "If you're no longer my daughter, what gives you the right to demand these things? Why should I give them to you?" She immediately screamed, "This is all mine. What's the problem with you giving it to me sooner? When you die, all of this will still be mine. Luna, if you don't want to get roasted online, you better give me what I want. Otherwise, I have plenty of ways to make sure you can't live here anymore." The interview began. The host, a young man, clearly had a bias against me and went straight to the point. "Miss Luna, could you explain the issues your daughter raised? As a mother, beating and scolding your adult daughter, limiting her freedom, that's illegal, right?" I looked at the video, which was muted, and slowly began to explain. "Let's go through it one by one." She said I controlled everything she ate, wore, and did. I only told her to eat less junk food. My assistant and the private investigator displayed photos and videos of Lisa growing up, many of which were of her eating. I was always busy, but for my daughter I would always find time to go home and cook for her. When she was picky and refused to eat, I would try to make her meals into animal shapes she liked. But she loved eating street food, fried skewers, roadside snacks, and burgers. For her health, I told her she could only eat them twice a month. In the video, I was holding a bowl, gently coaxing her to eat, promising to take her to KFC the next day. She reluctantly ate a bite, then spat it out and said, "This tastes awful. Can't you cook better?" Every video had a date. I had kept them as memories of her growing up, but never thought they would be used like this. She said I controlled her clothing. In reality, I just didn't want her to wear such unconventional clothes in high school. Sadly, I couldn't stop her. My assistant showed a picture of Lisa from her first year of high school. For some reason, she bought extremely revealing clothes online, basically lingerie, took photos with heavy makeup. When I found out, I burned the clothes. But she defied me, secretly bought more, and even sold intimate photos as a model. I had to spend a lot of effort to stop the photos from leaking in order to protect her reputation. She says I always controlled her. Do you think I should have let her do whatever she wanted? If I had, her life would have been ruined long ago. As a mother, I just wanted my daughter to grow up healthily. Is that wrong? She said I didn't let her date. She's grown up, and except for middle school, I stopped her twice. In her senior year, I advised her to wait until college to date. After that, I didn't interfere with her relationships. I only taught her how to protect herself. Of course, Ben is the exception. I didn't approve of him being with my daughter, and I had my reasons. In the video, there were texts I had sent to Lisa advising her that dating was fine, but she needed to protect herself. I had spoken with great care, heart, and soul. But all I got in return was impatience, and sometimes even insults. She complained about me controlling her life. Why do you care? You have no man, so you want to control mine? I already went to a hotel with someone. What are you going to do about it? Her tone was full of defiance. I had no choice but to remind her to use protection. Then, in her second year of college, she got pregnant and had an abortion at a shady clinic, nearly losing her life. I drove hundreds of miles to take her to the hospital. The host was stunned after watching the videos. He didn't even know what questions to ask anymore. I stared at the camera, speaking slowly. I just wanted my daughter to be happy, which is why I opposed her being with Ben. The screen displayed a series of things Ben had done. In middle school, he fought over women, dropped out of school, and worked in a factory for less than half a year before getting someone pregnant. He spent 2 years in prison for theft, and after getting out, he went back for 3 years for fraud. He wasn't unwilling to find a job, he just couldn't. He relied on his looks to deceive naive young girls, secretly filming them and blackmailing them for money. This was his source of income. If you were me, would you want your daughter to be with someone like him? I lowered my gaze, sighed, and rolled up my left sleeve. A twisted white scar stretched from my wrist to my elbow, and around it were deep pockmarked scars, with skin that had curled up, ugly and grotesque. The host, seeing the scars on my arm, was shocked and asked, "What? What happened to your arm?" I forced a bitter smile. She wanted to move in with Ben. I told her that Ben was not a good person and forbade her from going. She went crazy and stabbed me with a pen. After stabbing me, she ran away. I didn't even have time to bandage myself before going after her. I couldn't bear to watch my daughter jump into a fire, but how did she repay me? She yelled and accused me of abusing her, saying she would call the police on me. I was stopped by confused passersby, and I saw her in the crowd, grinning at me with a look of triumph. Looking back, I wonder what was I thinking. Just because she was my daughter, I endured all the harm she caused me. If children are a debt to their parents, then I should have repaid it in my past life. I suddenly laughed, but tears began to flow uncontrollably, not for Lisa, but for myself, the one who got to live again. You're right. I really don't deserve to be a mother. So from now on, I won't be a mother anymore. I no longer have a daughter. The severance agreement between mother and daughter appeared on the screen, along with my household registration book, now just with my name on it. The host looked flustered, her eyes full of guilt. No, everyone just doesn't understand the truth. Mrs. Luna, you're a great mother. I shook my head, not wanting to accept the praise. Being a good mother was just too exhausting. This interview was being broadcast live, and I could see the barrage of comments scrolling on the screen. Most of them were apologizing to me. Auntie, we're sorry. We were all deceived by Lisa. You are a great mother. Sorry, Auntie. A daughter like this is better off being abandoned. We were wrong. There were also people who cursed Lisa. What kind of ingrate is this? So shameless. How could she be so cruel to her own mother, then turn around and blame her? Scumbag man and woman, may they be trapped together forever and never harm their own mothers again. Auntie, you should sever ties with this daughter. Don't soften your heart. Some were questioning my motives. Where does such deep hatred between mother and daughter come from? Is it too extreme to expose your own daughter's flaws like this? A mother who keeps her daughter's dark past is truly terrifying. These conspiracy theory comments were in the minority, and were soon drowned out by apologies. What I didn't expect was that during my interview, Lisa had also started a live broadcast, tearfully accusing me. After the director and host asked for my consent, they aired Lisa's live broadcast during my interview. In the video, she was curled up in Ben's arms, crying with bloodshot eyes, looking pitiful. The background was shockingly the same coffee shop we had been to before. Why are we in a coffee shop? That woman called us here. She threatened me and my boyfriend, saying that if we didn't delete the previous videos, we wouldn't be able to survive here. She took all my ID and money, sold the house my dad bought for me, and told me to not go back home. She said she would ruin my reputation. Wah, please save me, that woman is so scary. She's insane. Even my dad is afraid of her, that's why he divorced her. Lisa cried between gasps, looking far more sympathetic than my calm demeanor, which led some people to question the authenticity of my evidence. She's a psychopath. She often beat up my dad and broke things at home. My dad had no choice but to divorce her to keep himself safe. My dad wanted to raise me, but she used me to threaten him for money. She said if he didn't give her custody, she'd kill me. My dad was afraid she'd really snap and hurt me, so he gave her custody. These years, I've lived under her violence. Everyone, look at the injuries she gave me the other day. She revealed her swollen face, scars on her forehead, and bruises and scrapes on her arms. Luna, they say a tiger won't eat its own cub. Why are you so evil? The host was now completely confused about who was in the wrong, glancing at the director in distress. My assistant and the private investigator gave me a nod, signaling that they were ready. I took a deep breath and told the director, "Let's connect. Today, I'll make everything clear about me and her in front of everyone." The director's eyes lit up, and he immediately instructed for the connection to be made. As soon as Lisa saw me, she shrieked and shrank into Ben's arms, acting as though she was afraid of me. I could only sneer at her pathetic acting. I really didn't want to admit that this was my daughter. Ben held her close with a look of righteous indignation and said to me, "Luna, how much more do you need to hurt Lisa before you're satisfied? What do you need to do to let her go?" I coldly looked at him through the screen and said, "Enough with the act. Lisa, Ben, I didn't intend to be this ruthless, but you forced my hand. Don't blame me for being unkind now." As soon as Lisa heard this, she immediately became nervous, but Ben quickly reassured her. Ben arrogantly said, "Stop threatening us. We have others standing up for us now. We're not afraid of you anymore." Lisa also sobbed, "Luna, I've severed ties with you as my mother. I'm begging you, just let me go." I raised my hand, signaling my assistant to send out the video from my meeting with Lisa this morning. "I was planning to let you go, but you wouldn't let me. Lisa, you're not a child anymore. Some things can't be solved just by crying and throwing tantrums. You need to learn to take responsibility for your actions." The video of our conversation was played from start to finish. Their fake pity was ripped away, and their ugly, greedy faces were laid bare in HD. When they saw how excited they were about forcing me to hand over my assets, the comments flooded with insults. When they saw Ben hitting Lisa and the two of them trying to frame me, the comments almost went crazy. How disgusting. How can someone be so shameless? To sever ties with your own mother for a scumbag, and then ask for your mother's wealth? What's left of your dignity? I can hear that guy plotting from miles away. He's definitely a scumbag. But the girl isn't any better. She's scheming with the scumbag against her own mother. It's a real eye-opener. I really thought the mother went too far, and the daughter was just retaliating. Turns out the daughter's the greedy one, scheming against her own mom. This is like a drama of the year, constantly flipping the script. Are there more twists to come? Such a child doesn't even deserve to be alive. Dogs are better than her. Lisa screamed loudly. "How dare you scheme against us, Luna? You old witch, that stuff should be mine. Why are you keeping it from me?" Ben, seeing the video being exposed, was too embarrassed to look up. He shoved Lisa away and tried to escape, but the coffee shop staff stopped him. "You haven't paid yet," the staff said with disdain all over their face. Ben shoved past the waiter. "It's got nothing to do with me. Luna ordered it. You should ask her for the money." Immediately, more staff blocked him. "Sir, you ordered all this. Please pay." "I have no money." "Go ask her." He pointed at Lisa, and as the staff looked at her, he seized the opportunity to run out. Lisa was still screaming, insisting my things should belong to her. "The house is mine. My dad bought it for me. You've been occupying it all these years. It should have been returned to me. Your company too. My dad gave you the money to start it." I looked at Lisa, whose eyes were filled with rage, and thought maybe she's truly gone crazy. I quietly watched as she raged for nearly 20 minutes. Now, I began to understand why she hated me so much. She had always believed that everything I had was thanks to her dad. That's why she wasn't worried about leaving me. She thought she could do whatever she wanted, and I wouldn't be able to hurt her. But the truth she knew was like honey-coated poison. Once the honey melted away, I wasn't sure if she could bear the bitterness. But that no longer concerned me. "Lisa, there are some truths I've kept from you because I didn't want to hurt you. But today, I'll let everyone hear them. Did your stepmother tell you I divorced your dad because I'm mentally ill? Did she tell you that she was the one who ruined my marriage? The reason I divorced was because your dad cheated on me with my best friend when I was pregnant. I forgave him once, but during my postpartum period, they started seeing each other again, secretly renting a place. I caught them in bed when Lisa was 3. I chose to divorce him, and he used Lisa's safety to threaten me into leaving everything behind. I still remember his words. Why bother having a daughter? A useless piece of trash. Take her if you want her. I don't care. Of course, I was happy to take her. She's my daughter, flesh of my flesh. Until my best friend said something to him, he suddenly changed his mind and started fighting for custody. He told me that when Lisa grew up, he'd send her to a rich man so he could earn some money. When I cursed him, he just smirked. I'll give you custody, but you have to leave everything behind. I was so enraged. I threw a cup at his face. The shards left a scar on his forehead, which he probably used to win Lisa's trust. But what Lisa didn't know was how much I had to endure, raising her alone. I gave her food. I gave her the best life I could. And yet, her dad didn't have to spend a dime. With a few sweet words, he could win her over and betray me. I lost my life in the previous life for such an ungrateful person. The truth about the divorce is like this. Your dad didn't want you. He used your safety to force me to leave with nothing. As for whether I'm mentally ill, there are doctors who can prove it. Now Lisa, are you satisfied with the truth? When she heard that her dad didn't want her, she froze. She screamed, trying to interrupt me, but I calmly waited for her to settle down before continuing. One by one, I broke down her mental defenses until she collapsed and lost control. No. You're lying. It's all because of you. You can't stand to see us happy. I won't believe you. Luna, I'll take back what's mine. I said calmly. What's yours? Go ask your dad. See if he still acknowledges you as his daughter without the identity of being my daughter. Just then, her live broadcast screen suddenly went black, and she left the stream. I looked at the host and smiled apologetically. Sorry, everyone had to witness my family's drama. The host, no longer biased or dismissive, now showed sympathy. It's alright, you've had a hard time. If this had been my past life, I would have thought enduring for my daughter was worth it. But this life? I no longer wanted to sacrifice for her. Sure enough, Lisa went to her dad, but she was kicked out that same day. This was expected. Her dad, Kent, and his current wife Lena had a son. Being the kind of person who valued sons over daughters, how could he ever want a daughter back? He only contacted Lisa because she was my daughter, and I gave her a generous allowance. As far as I know, over the years, Lisa had been tricked into buying a lot of things for them. Their home appliances, bed, their son's computer, phone, clothes, shoes, all of it was paid for by my money. In total, it was worth over $1 million. I didn't lack money, so when Lisa kept in contact with Kent, I turned a blind eye. I thought maybe she just missed her father's love, and there was nothing wrong with that. Looking back now, I realize how naive I was. Now that Lisa had severed ties with me, Kent would never want a daughter who had nothing. The private investigator soon sent me a video of Lisa being kicked out. At first, she knocked furiously at Kent's door, but no one answered. After a long while of banging and kicking, Lena opened the door, looking at Lisa with disdain. "What do you want?" Before Lisa could ask, Lena added, "Your custody is with Luna. We're not obligated to take care of you. If you have a problem, go to your mom. Don't come here." She tried to push the door shut, but Lisa forced her way inside. The rest of the conversation couldn't be filmed, but we could hear their voices. Lisa screamed, nearly losing her voice. "Dad, Auntie, didn't you say Luna's house was bought by Dad? Didn't you say the company had your shares? Didn't you say all those things would be mine later? Why is Luna saying they're all hers?" Kent, impatient, snapped. "What are you blaming me for? She's your mother. If you didn't make a mess, when she dies, wouldn't all her things belong to you? We thought you could bring back a house for your brother's wedding, but you're useless. What good are you? Get out of my house." Lisa froze, then started to scream as she was pushed out of the door. She was almost like a madwoman. Her voice, sharp and chilling, was unbearable even for me, let alone for Kent and Lena. "Shut up! Get out of my house. You think you can live here? Without Luna, you're even worse than a dog." In the chaos, Lena shoved Lisa to the ground, and she scraped her forehead on the shoe rack, causing a gash. Then, like a wild animal, she grabbed the shoe rack and threw it. After a series of screams, Lisa was thrown out of the door and landed heavily on the ground. Kent, covered in blood and scratches, took Lena to the clinic downstairs, leaving Lisa sprawled on the ground, bruised and beaten. It took a long time for her to get up, limping as she walked away. Did I feel sorry for her? If this had been my past life, I would have felt heartbroken. But in this life, I had no feeling left. My heart had died. To me, she was nothing but a stranger who had once ruined my life. For more than a month after that, all I got was information from the private investigator. Lisa's life was a mess. Without my protection, all the truths I had concealed for her were exposed. Photos of her sleeping with different men, along with various private photos, were leaked. Without the identity of being my daughter, she went from being a pampered young lady to a piece of filthy mud that anyone could trample on. At school, she couldn't keep a low profile, fighting and causing trouble, disturbing the peace. Plus, the scandal surrounding her explicit photos caused too much of a negative impact, and the school decided to expel her. She threw a fit in the office and was kicked out by security. With nowhere to go, she had no choice but to seek out Ben, only to find that he had already moved out of the rental house, and her contact information had been blocked. It seemed like she still had a bit of common sense though, as she sneaked into a bar and found Ben, who had already moved on to a new love. She immediately charged at him, and they got into a physical fight. Ben pushed her to the ground, causing her to hit the table and pass out. Blood pooled beneath her. It turned out that she was really pregnant, but she couldn't keep the baby. Yet somehow, Ben and Lisa got back together. After reconciling, they were quiet for a while, but I still couldn't relax. In the past life, they hadn't managed to take my company or my house, but they quickly tampered with my car and caused an accident that left me paralyzed. They transferred all of my assets to themselves, and in the nursing home, where I had lost my value, Lisa personally removed my oxygen mask. That was my final trial. "Lisa, will you still make a move on me in this life?" I didn't have to wait long. Lisa came to find me, visibly pregnant. Of course, it wasn't a real pregnancy. It was all just an act. She seemed to want to play the sympathy card. When she saw me, she immediately knelt down, crying, and hugged my legs. "Mom, I was wrong. I know I was wrong. I'll listen to you from now on. Please don't abandon me. I won't leave you again, Mom. I was foolish before, but now I understand how much you've done for me. Please forgive me, Mom. Mom, I'm pregnant, and I'm carrying your grandson. Can you bear to watch him suffer?" I'd raised her for over 20 years. Whether she was telling the truth or lying, I could tell with one look. So, when I saw her crying with a vicious cold gleam in her eyes, I felt a chill run down my spine. She wasn't here to apologize. She was here to finish what she started, taking my life. I looked down at her and with the same gentle voice as before, said, "Lisa, as long as you're my daughter, everything I have will eventually be yours. Do you understand?" Her eyes flashed with greed, and she hurriedly said, I understand, I really do. Mom, I've learned my lesson. Please give me one more chance. I patted her head and helped her up. She thought I had forgiven her, and she happily sat down on the sofa in my office, saying, Mom, I'm back. Please unfreeze my bank card. I'm pregnant and need nutrition. Oh, and Mom, where are you living now? Give me a spare key, and make sure my room is ready. I'm moving back in today. Just then, my assistant entered. Lisa pointed at her and said, Yes, you. Go buy me a cup of milk tea from the Century Plaza store. She crossed her legs and continued, Stop working, take me out to eat. I'm starving. My assistant looked at me nervously, and I signaled for her to leave, telling her not to pay attention to Lisa. She quickly closed the door and left. Lisa, still unaware, continued ordering me around. Hurry up! I want to go to that restaurant. I love their fresh beef hot pot. Why are you so slow? I ignored her, continuing to look at my documents without raising my eyes. Go eat whatever you want. I'm busy with work. That's not how it works. You have to go with me. Her voice immediately went up several octaves, sharp enough to hurt my ears. She only realized afterward that her reaction was too over the top and awkwardly avoided my gaze. I just want to have a meal with you. It's been so long since we've eaten together. Let's go. She walked over and grabbed my arm. The moment her skin touched mine, I felt an instant chill, as if a poisonous snake had slithered across my skin. I wanted to know what she was up to, so I decided to go with her. She insisted that I drive the Mercedes I often use. I complied, and as we got into the car, I noticed a glint of triumph in her eyes. When we got to the parking lot, she eagerly directed me where to park, even taking my car key from me. I parked the car while she watched me with a mix of expectation and nervousness. While I was watching her devour her food upstairs, a message from the private investigator arrived with a photo and video. Ben tampered with your car. Should we call the police? The photo showed Ben, wearing a black cap, busy inside my car. I replied, Not yet. There was no point in calling the police yet, since nothing had happened. But attempted murder was a different matter. After the meal, Lisa told me to wait for her while she went to the bathroom. When she came back, she handed me my car keys. I pretended to feel unwell and didn't want to drive, suggesting we use a ride service. She immediately panicked. No, you have to drive, she screamed, then lowered her voice. It's not far. Just drive yourself. Didn't you always say we should handle our own business? No need to bother others. I felt a coldness in my heart, but still managed to say, I feel dizzy. Driving could be dangerous. Hearing the word, dangerous, she couldn't hide her smile. What danger? It's just a short drive. Let's go. The private investigator sent a message, saying the brakes had been tampered with, and advised me to be cautious. He would follow me and keep an eye on Lisa and Ben. Sure enough, before I got into the car, Lisa pretended to have something to do and asked me to leave first. Then she and Ben sneaked into a nondescript car and followed me. The light was about to turn red. If I couldn't stop in time, it would be a deadly crash. But I slowed down, purposely steering my car off the road and crashing into a flower bed. The car then hit a streetlight and came to a halt. I slumped over the wheel, pretending to pass out. Soon the police were called. What happened next was eerily similar to the past life. As soon as the police arrived, Lisa and Ben rushed over, crying, shouting, Mom, Mom, are you all right? Don't die. Mom, I'll take you to the hospital. I'll make sure you're okay. They tried to pull me out of the car, saying they'd take me to the hospital. Unfortunately, things didn't go as they had hoped. The police stopped them from touching me, instead separating them. Don't move. She could be seriously injured. Any movement could cause further harm. Lisa, urgently asking, is she badly hurt? Will she die? The police officer looked at her with confusion and frowned, not answering. I knew why Lisa's tone sounded like she was hoping I would die. Lisa quickly said, I'm her daughter. If she dies, all her assets will be mine. Please give her back to me. I need to take her to the hospital. She hasn't signed the transfer agreement yet. Saying this, she tried to shake me using excessive force. The police quickly pulled her away. What's wrong with you? Are you trying to kill her? Lisa screamed in protest. What are you doing? I'm her daughter. Give her back to me. I'll report you. Ben joined in and they both tried to rush at me, but couldn't find an opening. Until I slowly woke up, weakly saying, Officer, My brakes were tampered with. I suspect someone tampered with my car. Lisa and Ben were taken away. They must have thought I was as good as dead, not bothering to hide their actions, which quickly exposed the evidence. They were charged with attempted murder. Lisa was sentenced to 5 years and Ben to 6. As for Kent and his family, without Lisa's money, they were falling into poverty. Kent developed a gambling addiction and lost their house. Lena left them and ran off with someone else. Kent and his son were destitute, and they even came to beg me to help them pay their debts. It was laughable. I had them thrown out by security. Later, Lisa repeatedly asked to see me, but I refused every time. My feelings for her had long disappeared, buried under the countless times she had hurt me. From the moment she pulled my oxygen tube out, she ceased being my daughter. Although I lost my biological daughter, I gained many who were willing to call me Mom. I invested in a welfare home and started adopting orphans. In just a few years, I had taken in over 100 children. They, with no blood ties, were more caring than my own daughter ever was. Without Lisa, who constantly required my attention, I found that I could live a relaxed, fulfilling, and joyful life, surrounded by the love and dependence of many children.